Now, Wales has seen a big rise in the number of women in their 40s becoming mums. According to the latest figures, the number of women aged 40 or over who gave birth in 2010 was up 63%. That's compared to 10 years earlier. It's a trend that's also happening right across England, Scotland and Northern Ireland. So why are women leaving it later to have children? Let's ask Sioned Morris from Criccieth and Katy Stevenson from Cwmcarn. Very good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Sioned, when did you have your kids?
The first one at 36, then second one 39, and the third one, I'm afraid, I was 41. Yeah, 41.
I'm afraid, you say.
Yeah.
So why do you say that?
Well, it's not ideal having children in your 40s. It's dangerous for the mother, dangerous for the child. You heighten the risk of deformities. It's just not, nature didn't intend us to be bearing children in our 40s.
And was this through choice for you, Sioned?
Partly. I'm a career girl, so I left it until my early 30s to start having children, and then, found that I couldn't have them. So my first child was born via IVF, and I think probably IVF is behind this staggering rise in statistics.
So, no regrets, Sioned, but what are the problems, if there are any?
I mean, there are, I'm still in my early 40s, so no problems as yet. I mean, phone me back in about 10, 15 years when I've got three sort of teenagers.
I can hear some promising sounds in the background, Sioned, I have to say.
That's the 4-year-old in the background, which we're desperately trying to keep quiet. But no, I think probably the problems are later on when they're teenagers, and I'll be, nearing my 60s.
Katy, what about you? What's your story?
Well, I think nature certainly intended me to have my daughter at 43 and 9 months. It's been the most wonderful experience. I had an incredibly straightforward pregnancy this time, and it's just been wonderful. I'm young at heart. I still work 4 days a week in quite a high-powered job. I just think it's been a really positive thing for me. I didn't choose to delay having children until my 40s. My life circumstances meant that wasn't going to happen until later on, and I was incredibly fortunate to have a natural conception and, straightforward pregnancy and a wonderful daughter at the end of it.
And this pregnancy, you say. More to come? Are you going for more?
Oh, gosh, no.
No, that's it.
No, one's fine for us.
One's fine.
Unfortunately, I had 3 miscarriages in the year before I conceived my daughter, but I was always informed by the consultants all along that wasn't necessarily anything to do with my age. They gave me some really good advice to keep trying, because it was something we explored, whether my age might have been the cause of that. But they put me on aspirin for my 4th pregnancy, and bang, there we go. I had my baby. Perfectly straightforward.
Brilliant. What are the benefits for the children then, Katy, to have a slightly older mother? Are there any?
I think there are. I think you can be a good parent whatever age you are. Get that straight now. I'm not sort of into the battle between older versus younger. But I've certainly got plenty of energy. I'm fit and well. I've got a lovely, stable relationship with my husband, who's a stay-at-home dad. I'm not trying to build a career anymore. We're financially stable. It's something that I've consciously decided to do and that I really wanted in my life. Both of us did. So, we've done this kind of mindfully and purposefully, and what's not to like?
And Sioned, we were talking last week about a report into midwifery and the impact of mums being slightly older on the NHS and on midwives and the need for more care, more supervision. It is quite a tough one for the NHS, this, isn't it, these statistics?
Yeah, and I don't think you can escape the fact that being older does bring problems during childbirth. The incidence of abnormalities, of things going wrong, do increase. So you do need extra care. It's wonderful that, my third child, she did have problems. We spent the first month in Alder Hay. Was that because I was an older mum? I don't know. I'll probably never know. But, nature did intend us to have these children earlier. And I think what's happening is that we're finding, people in their early 30s, people like me, career people, decide to start trying for children in their 30s, find out that maybe it's not that simple, infertility comes into it, and, before you know it, you're in your 40s having your first child. So I don't know, my advice to anybody listening up there is maybe start a little earlier, and then if you do have problems, you've got time to sort them out.
Okay.
Can I come in there?
Very briefly, Katy, if you don't mind.
Nature certainly intended for me to be a mum at 43. I got pregnant 4 times in 13 months. Okay, I had issues that could have happened in my 20s. They will never know that. I will never know that. But I had a natural conception and a straightforward pregnancy. So, perhaps I was one of the lucky ones. But nature certainly intended me and my grandmother, who had my mum at 43, to have babies in their 40s.
It's your lucky number. Hey, thanks both. Katy Stevenson from Cwmcarn and Sioned Morris from Criccieth. It's 8:30.
The only thing I got in my 40s was a bad back, I think. Ben